Hello class, I'm going to discuss more on the proposed title forms. So this would be your next assignment for next week. So you need to submit this on or before the February 7. So that would be the deadline for the submission of the proposed title form. So before you will fill up the proposed title form, I'm going to discuss further about the research agenda of our college or in our different programs in BSHM and BSOA, but also the SGD, the 17 SGD of the United Nations. So you can check in the classwork, the reference materials and forms area. Okay, so you can see here I uploaded here proposed title form, so you're going to download this form and then you need to fill it up. And also your guide for framing up your title, you need to read all these 17 SGDs Sustainable Development Goals, okay, proposed by the United Nations for the year, I think 2024 to 2030. So I uploaded the link here, 7 link. So if you want to understand it more, you need to read all these links. Okay. So your title must be aligned with the 17 SGD, at the same time aligned in our program research agenda. Okay. So this time I'm going to share with you how it looks like this proposed title form. Okay, so I'll just give a specific instruction here. So since I have this base HM and base OA, so you need to change this one. So if you are HM, Hospitality Management Department. If you are Office Administration, Office Administration Department. And then you need to write here or type here the group number, your group number, and course year and section. For example, base OA 3B or base HM 3A. And then you need to write also the name of your advisor in this part. Then you need to fill up the group members. Start with the name, complete name of your leader, and then you need to also put the name of your members here. Okay, so for example, if you have 5 members, including the leaders, so just add box here. Okay, just click plus here to add members. And then inside of these 3 boxes, you need to write or type here your proposed titles. Okay, 3 proposed titles. And then at the bottom part, there's an instruction here. This is to certify the approval of topic number. The advisor should fill it up here. For example, he will choose title number 2. So you need to write here 2, topic number 2, as final and to be conducted by the researchers or students. And then you need to write here, instead of writing all the members of the group, just write the full name of the research leader. And then write also the date that you have signed here. Also, after having this signature from your research leader, you need to approach your research advisor and allow him or her to sign on this part. And don't forget to remind him or her to write the topic number. Agreed both the students and the advisor. And after that, you need to have a signature it with me as your research instructor. Again, don't forget to remind, for example, the research advisor forget to write the date that he or she sign the proposed title form. Okay, and then in order for the advisor to have a in order for him or her determine your concept of your research paper, you need to fill up the overview of the proposed study. So for example, proposed title 1, you need to write here the title of your research paper for the title number 1, past and present issues relating to the proposed title. Okay, so same in our discussion about the descriptive, or it may be an explanatory. There is a prior knowledge regarding the specific title or areas or issues. So you need to write here the past and also the present issues relating to your proposed title. For example, housekeeping standard practices. So there's a problem in the past. For example, there are some guests complain about the cleanliness of their comfort room in their guest room. Okay, so you need to state here the past and the present issues related to your topic. Okay, and then you need to write also here the objectives or the specific questions of your study. So if we were going to have to complete this form, this is the statement of the problem. But if you cannot um, fill it up for this particular assignment, just write the your proposed objectives or specific questions. So example for this one, example SOP number 1 or question number 1, what is the profile of the respondents? And then SOP number 2 or objectives number 2, what is the level of the housekeeping standard practices in selected resorts in Andabuhol? Okay, so you need to write here the objectives of your study or the specific questions that you are going to answer when you conduct your study. And then for the research environment, this is the specific location where you're going to conduct your study. Okay, and then research respondents, those who will respond your survey questionnaire. Okay, for example, in office administration, the customer service clerk or the cashier or anyone that's working in the office that will answer your survey questionnaire. So you need to write it here. And then you need to cite also where did you get the instrument or the questionnaire. Okay. So I would suggest it is more easy to have this proposed title if you have already like a guide or a model of your proposed title. So just give you a quick sample here. For example, in Google Scholar, again, example housekeeping standard practices. So for example, you're going to make this study as your model. So you need to change the title of the study. You need to change the research environment, research respondents, and others. So for example, this will be your model of your research paper. So you're going to cite, for example, we're going to download here. Try if we can download. Okay, we are able to download this article. Okay, standard operating procedures of housekeeping adaptation, the development of assessment tools in cleaning bathroom practices at vocational high school. So for example, this would be your model or your guide for your research paper. So you can see the questionnaire here based on the results and discussion of their study. Okay, so example for this, we cannot easily determine the questionnaire on this part. Okay, I think this is a foreign author. Okay, so they are from Indonesia. So we'll try other. So we'll try this our research paper. So we have conducted this during my master's degree program. So you can see here in the results and discussion. Okay, so this would be your guide for your questionnaire. For example, profile of the respondents, age, gender, civil status, continent of origin. SOP number 2, level of satisfaction of the guests on housekeeping standard practices. SOP number 3, problems encountered by the guests about the housekeeping standard practices. So this would be your guide for your study. Okay, so you need to cite the source of your questionnaire. Okay, for example, this would be your guide for your questionnaire. You need to cite this one. So you can easily click on this part, click cite, and copy the APA format. Copy and then paste here. Okay, so that's it. So this is the overview of the proposed title. Again, you need to write the title of the study, past present issues. Okay, issues, other term or synonym of issues or problems or gaps, okay, that you have identified or you have observed. So you need to write it here. And then the objectives or the specific questions or the statement of the problems, research environment, the location, research respondents, the individual who will going to answer your survey questionnaire. Okay, so you need to fill it up so that your advisor will have a guide of your proposed titles. Okay, you have to write 3 proposed titles. Okay, so this is for the proposed title number 1. The next page, proposed title number 2. And then the third page, proposed title number 3. Okay, so you need to write here your proposed titles 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and advisor and also me as an instructor can have a remarks here. For example, your proposed title is it's difficult to achieve, so I'm going to write it here, or I'm going to make some comments. Okay, so again, you need to complete this form next week on or before February 7, that is Friday. Okay, you need to fill it up, signed by the research advisor and the research instructor. And also you need to fill it up all the informations needed here in the overview of the proposed study. Okay. Now, your baseline in framing up your proposed study title, it must be aligned in our BSOA and BSHM program research agenda for the year 2025 to year 2030. So it means that when we reach 2030, so we're going to have another research agenda. So this is a 5-year program research agenda under the College of Business and Management that is also aligned in the latest 2030 agenda for Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations Philippines, and it is also grounded in BISU's research agenda. So I'm going to upload here in the Google Classroom, in the reference materials and forms section. So again, there are 17 SGD. Okay, so for example, in the office administration, so I'll just I already provided you some samples here. So this is not you're not going to copy and paste here, though it sounds like already a title, but it is only a guide for your research paper. Okay, so for example, digital tools for improving record management in poverty alleviation projects. So your title must have a alignment or grounded on this research agenda in our program or in our college. So for the office administration, so I provided 10 sample or guide in every sustainable development goals, wherein we have this 17. So I'll just enumerate here. SDG 1, no poverty. SDG 2, zero hunger. 3, good health and well-being. 4, quality education. 5, gender equality. 6, clean water and sanitation. 7, affordable and clean energy. 8, decent work and economic growth. 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. 10, reduce inequalities. 11, sustainable cities and communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. 14, life below water. 15, life on land. 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And lastly, 17, partnership for the goals. So I just provided you some guide for framing up your research title. For example, here is GD17, promoting international collaborations for administrative training programs and strengthening partnership with government agencies to improve office practices and others. So you have many choices as your guide in framing up your research paper. So that is for the office administration, and I also provided for the hospitality management. Okay, so this would be the guide because this is urgent and this is the identified problems specifically in our country in the Philippines. So this program or college research agenda 2025 to 2030 is based on the um, base here in the United Nations, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Okay. So again, the purpose of research paper is to enhance the society, to help the community. So these are the priority that they are able to identify the problems that we had in our country here in the Philippines. So you have a guide, you have free if you have a free time to read all of this so that you will have full you're going to have a fully guided with the research agenda for the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. Okay, so so I provided the link in your Google Classroom. You can read this. Our work on the Sustainable Development Goals in the Philippines. Okay, UN, United Nations. Okay, so firm partner, etc. So you need to read this if you want to enhance your understanding about the Sustainable Development Goals in the Philippines. So again, there are 17. Okay, so your title must be aligned or focused on these 17 Sustainable Development Goals. To what is the purpose? To alleviate or to provide solutions on these identified problems here in our country. So this is the really the good side of conducting a research paper. We are working together to solve the identified problems specifically in our country. Okay, just I have give you an assignment to memorize the vision and mission because that is important as part of the stakeholder in Bohol Island State University. Our main goal is to have the purpose again in the last part. If you have um, notice in the last part of both vision and mission, this is for the sustainable development in Bohol and the country Philippines in Bohol, sustainable development. So this course, the research, is not just only for as a requirement for your academics, but also it is a powerful tool to solve the identified problems in Bohol and in our country, Philippines. So again, you can freely read all these sustainable development goals. Okay, so I just provided a website. There's also a video provided here. You can watch that video. This is also, you know, shown in the website of the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA. Okay, the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations. So there's an update here, the progress at the regional level based on the current status index. So you are going to be part of this movement to solve the identified problems. Okay, so these are the list, finalists of proposed SGD indicators. Okay, so we're going to help to solve the identified problems here in our country. So we have the big part of this movement. Okay, so I hope that we are also feel excitement as we undergo research paper, and we will come up with an very nice output recommendations to solve the identified problems. Okay, so I think that's all. So if you have further questions, you can freely drop it in our group chat or in our face-to-face class. So again, the deadline for this next week on Friday, February 7. Okay, February 7. It means that next week, Monday, you need to, or maybe this time after watching this video, or tomorrow, Thursday, you will have a meeting with your group mates, and you need to identify the proposed title and fill up this overview of the proposed study, so that if there is any changes, you can change that for a week. Okay, it is not advisable to create or to comply these requirements on the day of the deadline on 7. Okay, again, and if you're going to submit this in Saturday, so I will no longer accept your assignment and you will get a 0 points. Okay, so God bless everyone. See you in our face-to-face class. Bye-bye.